Let's do it to it. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? So you guys know I get excited every time I have a first time guest in the Awakened Soul, and this is somebody who you've heard his voice because I play his ad sometimes on the podcast. If you see me on Twitter, I've been interacting with him. This is the light skinned supreme himself, Mr. Marco from Hear Me Out podcast and Sip and Smoke podcast. What's going on, bro?
What's up? How you doing, man? Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Oh man, anytime, bro. You know, me and you've been interacting for a minute in group me, Twitter, or whatever, and I enjoy having people on that I actually know that I fuck with and vibe with. So it's definitely a good thing there. But man, I gotta say, let me bury the lead here, man, because I've been listening to Hear Me Out basically almost since you started for real, right? I think we met before, yeah. And you can tell, even though you have the Sip and Smoke podcast too, like you're growing and as a podcast, and you can tell that you're starting to be more comfortable. It seems like, at least for me. So let me ask you that, like, because this is part of the Creative Mind series. I want to get in your mind as a creative. How do you feel you've grown since you started Hearing Me Out?
I definitely think I've grown so much. I love telling people my story. I started off recording from my phone. So for me to sit here with a mic and headphones and a computer and know how to edit and shit, like within the time span of like 7 months, that was just mind blowing to me. Just putting on my passion, and we've had conversations about just investing in yourself. Like no matter what the price is, if you need it and if you want it, you need to put the money aside and purchase that because it's gonna only help you get better. So that's what I've been doing, just out here grinding and trying to make my studio look like yours.
Man, listen, this wasn't built overnight. It may seem like it for some people, but I've slowly gained this equipment over the 3 years I've been doing it. But it's like I feel it, man. And you hear the difference. And you know, I remember, even though I started off with the mic, I remember when you like went from the phone to the mic and like your excitement over it, like especially on Twitter. And it's like I miss that point, because like I'm at the point of my creativity now where it's like me, I'm making short films and shit. Like I miss the days where when I edited my first podcast and I was just happy I got the music to dip the right way. Like I was like that shit.
Yo, when I got this mic, I was like, these niggas can't tell me shit. Like,
yeah, definitely. So like, and so something that again, so this whole series is about getting in the minds of creatives, and so as where you started, Hear Me Out at, like not just on the tech side, from the content side, from the delivery side, and where you thought it was going. Where has that changed in the 7 months? And just to add that in, I remember when I first started The Awakened Soul, my very first episode, I remember I just wanted to talk about movies and film. That's all I wanted to talk about. And so now I'm like gotten to this point where I'm talking about mental health and deep shit every other week, that it's like I would have never imagined that I could talk about it at the level that I do now. What has that journey been like you so far and under your first year doing this?
That journey has helped me mentally. When I first started, like my very first episode, I know it's a cringe and I have yet to go back and listen to it, but I remember that I was just getting out of the like a breakup stage out of a long relationship. So I know like it's talking about all this fuck love and all this shit, but from there to like what I'm doing mentally and opening up and getting people, like when people tell me that they listen to my show and I say this one line, it surprises me. I'm like, damn, sometimes I just be talking, but you know, like my goal is to reach people in the way I do communicate with people. So it's been a great journey, just knowing how to like research certain topics and how you're going to display it to the world and actually create your own format. Like my format has changed so many times and it's probably going to change again. But it's just, you know, setting that time out to ignore everything that's going on and just dig in your own head. And yeah, I'm just blessed.
Definitely. And you're good. You're really good at what you do. Like, I don't know if nobody else has told you, let me tell you, you are fucking good at entertaining this shit. Like and it's something that I used to struggle with, like, because I feel like I was so focused on the information I was delivering so at early on that I forgot to be entertaining. And I'm naturally super quiet. People don't believe that, they know me from podcasting now. I'm naturally super quiet. So it took me a while to get to the point of knowing how to be entertaining. So I get jealous of you motherfuckers who just wake up entertaining the shit. I be looking at y'all like, fuck y'all motherfuckers.
Hey, so I've done a lot of customer service. So they always told me you got to smile through the phone. So I always try to smile through the mic, and that's how people catch my energy.
Definitely. What if this has happened for you? Because like I said, I was naturally introverted before podcast. I can't even call myself an introvert anymore because I could talk to anybody about anything at any time. But how have you saw that the podcast has affected your life rather than your life affecting the podcast? I think we always think about it the other way around, like how the podcast reflects our life. But I know for me, like the journey is me podcasting and being in this creative space has improved me so much as a person, as a manager, as a leader, and everything. Just being on the stage, how have you seen that help you?
It has helped me discover who I am and what I'm trying to display to the world. Just going out to like different restaurants and trying to remember that you're a brand now versus like just a person that's just out here. And no disrespect to people that's out there, but like doing this shit, I feel like I got a lot to lose. And if I'm out there just acting a damn fool, I'm dropping bars and everything. If I'm just out there acting a fool, like people not gonna take me serious. Like one day I plan on having merch. So if somebody's walking around with my t-shirt and be like, oh, that's Mr. Hear Me Out over there fighting or cussing somebody out, they're gonna be like,
exactly.
But he over here trying to be motivational on a podcast. Like they're gonna look at me like I'm crazy. So just been helping me with my image and how I react to certain things, and even with friendships, just having those difficult conversations with them to help them grow.
Yeah, so when your mind has to switch from just being a person to everything you do reflecting your brand, like that moment that you really start thinking about that, it'd be like, damn, but I really want to go off. I really just want to go off real quick. But let me not, because all it takes is one person to see me go off, like you said, and be like, hey, wait a second, aren't you the dude from The Awakened Soul? You in here cussing people out about getting your order wrong? I feel like that right now. So how do you keep yourself challenged as a creative? I think we find as like, again, I try to speak through my own, like I went through a period of probably for like 3 months. I felt like I was really stagnating, and not that the content necessarily was bad, but I felt like I wasn't being challenged as a creative. So what I did is I said, you know what? Because I used to like basically write down all my bullet points. And I was like, I'm gonna Jay-Z this shit. I threw all that shit away. Like I people don't know, like some of the best episodes that I've had lately have literally, I didn't know what I was going to talk about before I flipped on the microphone. But I'm trying to train myself to get to the point of being able to present all my thoughts to make it sound like you really sat down and thought this topic out. And little do people know, like that Sigma Male episode that I did, that people loved and ate that shit up, bro. When I tell you I sat down in front of the mic and I was like, what the fuck am I going to talk about today? Bam, it just came off the top like that. What do you do, like keep yourself challenged in your creative space?
So, I mean, what I do challenge it. So I actually try to sit down and like do these whole bullet points and like try to research. It's just like some of my highest rating shows are when I'm like drunk and I'm literally just talking my shit. And I'm like, but I don't want like that Marco to be, every week. So I mean, I'm forced to tap into another creative mindset to like actually do the research that I actually find interesting and want to display to the world. Black Lives Matter and all the presidential debate. I might touch on it a little bit because I know it's important, but me personally, I can't sit there and talk about it for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I gotta find things that that I've been going through the whole week. So I'm trying this whole dating shit thing, but it's fucking not working. So like lately, that's what I've been talking about in experiences. And whenever I do go on these shitty ass dates, it's more content for me. So I just try to find things out in the world to do that's going to help me with the episode that I'm producing.
That's dope. So what, I got to ask, what's the worst date you've been on in this stretch?
Worst date. See, I don't even do dates because it gets a little, it it starts feelings, and I don't got time for all that. But I've been ghosted.
Oh wow.
I've tried to show my respect and was like, hey, you know, so you cool, X, Y, and Z. It's just not gonna work. And then nothing else after that. But was texting me all day and all this other shit. I was like, you know, right when I try to be Mr. Nice Guy, just try to tell people we could be friends, it just go left. So I'm just gonna continue to ghost people because I mean it's better them than me.
Oh man, that's one thing. I have never been ghosted. I was married for most of my adult life. I've been single now for a minute, but like so I wasn't in the dating world when like ghosting and stuff started popping up out because I met my ex-wife when I was 16 and we had been together that whole time. So like I got to avoid the adult dating. And like nowadays, people are so annoying just talking about relationships that I can imagine me seriously being on a date trying to have a conversation with a woman and then her saying some shit, and I'd be like, you know what? Here goes the money to pay for it. I'm up. I'm out. I ain't got time for this. I ain't got time for the bullshit. I ain't got time.
You're like, waiter, just here's the cash. I'm out.
I'm good. I'm gonna go ahead. I'm gonna head out. Is that what the saying is? I'm gonna go ahead and head out.
I'm head out.
Yeah. What? So me and you, we originally met in the group me in the podcasting group me. You then spilled out to Twitter. We started following each other on Twitter. So I always like because my social media activity, not even though I've been on Twitter for 10 years, 98% of my activity has been in the last 3 years since I started podcasting. So you coming into like this creative group and on Twitter in this creative space with other creators and interacting with podcasters. What was that like for you initially? Because I think people need to hear that too. So anyone who's hearing this, who's thinking about starting a podcast, to hear like what is it like initially starting to interact with these people you've never met, you don't really know. You may listen to their show, but you don't really know them. So what was that like for you?
I thought it was dope. I never realized. So piggyback. I actually like meeting people off the internet versus like at bars and shit. You get to see like a different side of them. So interacting on Twitter and then finding out that they're podcasters just like enlightens me that much more with them. So it was very welcoming. A lot of people got a lot of knowledge. You just have to basically just ask. Like there's many times that I've been like on Twitter, I'm like, what's the best mic? And the next thing you know, you throw your phone down for 5 minutes, but then you got like 8-9 replies, and now you gotta leave Twitter to go do your research. So it was just welcoming, and I felt like I belonged there. Most importantly, I feel like everybody got a voice. There's not anybody like trying to overshine people and do all that other shit. Like I'm gonna make it without you. So just a great Black community. I feel like we all like the cousins at the cookout that go like every 3 years, but we always stand in the corner and with our red cups and just watch everybody else. So
yeah, I mean, it's just like any family, you know, you get the shit where you see people like either subbing or getting into little tiffs or whatever. You see the people, it's all love and people just having fun. Talk. It's a little bit of everything in this mixed bag of Twitter. You comparing it to the cookout is the perfect example because sometimes it's just like, sometimes I don't even tweet for her. I'll be watching almost all the time, and I'll just be looking like, y'all tripping today. Oh, y'all tweeting today.
Oh, y'all feeling today.
And then you get those threads where me, you, and John are all talking about feet, and people, I can only imagine what people are thinking about with that. So it's just like,
I really be sitting there like, damn, all these niggas can see everything I'm tweeting, Marco. You gotta lighten up a little bit. But I mean, I feel like Twitter is like the voice in your head. You're like, oh, you know what? They will understand. And more than likely, the shit that you think is corny or whatever the case may be, that's the ones that's getting retweeted the most or liked or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great and bad. It's not necessarily. It's only bad if you allow it to be bad. If you allow it to affect your energy, Twitter can be a bad place. But that's why you gotta know when it's not about you, to check the fuck out, or just let people just do them, and like it is what it is. But for the most part, it is really all love. And I think that, you know, I like the way that we kind of hold each other accountable, like especially when we're actually talking about our content, and if people are having like block songs. I think was that you tweeted about having podcast block at one point, and I'm like, don't overthink it, just do it.
That was us. I was just like,
man.
what should I talk about this week? And then here you come with an inspirational TI message. And I was like, you know what? But he right though. It's gonna come to you. And I went on a walk and I was like, oh, that's what I want to talk about. And I got out my notepad and I started jotting shit down.
There you go. Yeah, it's not this man called me TI. God damn it.
I said I said you gave me a motivational TI speech. Because TI always try to be coming with the speeches talking about, we shouldn't be. No, TI, you should be worried about you and your family right now.
Exactly. Yeah. TI's a crazy person. But I gotta say, because you mentioned it earlier, your drunken episodes. Mm-hmm. I'm not gonna fucking lie to you, bro. I'm not even gonna hold you. I love that shit. I'm not even. That was one of the most fun episodes I've listened to all year. I'm sitting here and I think I was jogging that night too, and I'm just like, this nigga is cutting up.
Yes, man. Sometimes I just be like, ooh, I want to hit record and just talk my shit. And then I won't put it out the same day because I have to go back and listen to it sober.
Yeah.
Just to make sure I'm like, okay, it's a cringe, but if I got backfire, I have valid points of what I said.
Definitely. So like reaching out and getting into the space now of collabing with other creatives, who are some of the people that are on your wish list to collab with? Who have you gotten to the collab with so far that you enjoy? What's that process been like for you?
I want to what was I gonna say? I want to collaborate with everybody Black. No, I'm serious. Like, I want to hear everybody's story, like where they came from, like favorite restaurants, like what's your adult like. Like, I want to know everything. Favorite brunch spots, favorite hookah spots. But ideally, if I could collaborate with probably Charlemagne, I really enjoy him on The Breakfast Club. And plus, he's a Cancer. Shout out to all the Cancers out there. Shameless plugs.
So, and I feel that, like, Charlemagne has always been one of my dream interviews too. But I think, like, in our space, somebody who, I'm not even gonna lie to you, this is a transparency moment for Hayes. As big as this has gotten, and my podcast has gotten, and all that, Stephanie from the I Said No podcast is like podcasting royalty to me. I've been afraid to even reach out. I've had a topic in mind to talk to her about for probably a year and a half, and I have never even sent it to her because I've called her the Meryl Streep of podcasting, and I mean every word of that. Like, she is flawless in her delivery. She don't give no F's. Everything. She's also motivational to just lift people up at any point in time. Like, there's a few people that I hold in regards of being like royalty in this podcasting game, and I don't care. I've never asked her about her numbers. I don't even see her talking. I don't care if she only gets 5 downloads. That woman is the one of the best podcasters to ever touch a mic, and I mean every word of that.
That's dope.
So
I'm gonna have to check her out.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm telling you, man. Like this, she's funny, motivating, intelligent, everything. It's just, yeah. I'm afraid. I worked with her sister. I worked with Hype. Me and Hype have done a few podcasts together, but I'm telling you, it's like I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I'm ready. So. Yeah, that's definitely one.
You ready? You just gotta believe it.
Yeah, there you go, man. I need to just man up and just invite her on. But yeah, man, I really so what do you have, man? What has been like for anyone who is afraid to start a podcast or who's thinking about it, who doesn't know where to get started? What would be a piece of advice that you would give to them?
Just do it. I've been talking about starting my podcast for about 3 years, and this was the year that I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna hit record, and I'll just learn from the. And make sure you're being your true, honest self. Like, I know that there's a lot of influencers, so to say, that inspire us to be different people or act a certain way. Let me not say we. I like authenticity. So as long as you're real and you keep it real, and I feel that energy through the mic, I mean, you already got a listener over here. And make sure you're passionate about it.
That's the key.
Like, just don't I mean, it's okay to get on the mic and talk shit, but like one of these days you're going to be drained for just talking shit every single week. Make sure you have some type of passion behind it or some type of motive behind it.
Yeah, the passion will carry you through every single time, and that's what I like. People who like don't know what to talk about, who don't know how to get started, like if whatever you can talk about every day, whatever you be thinking about from the moment you wake up brushing your teeth to when you get to work, or even while like whatever's on your mind and you're talking to yourself about, that should be what you podcast about. And it's just that simple. Like it doesn't really take a lot. People think about, well, should I do this? Should I do this? Or too many people doing this. Don't even worry about that. Like
just do it.
Just do it. Like it's just that simple. It really doesn't take a lot. So
I will say, let me add to that. I will say, try everything, because sooner or later you're gonna find your niche and you're gonna see what works for you and what doesn't. I've been taking shit in and out of my show, just trying to figure out how does it sound all the way through, and if, like, more importantly, if I'm listening to it and if I don't like it, I know my listeners don't like it. So I mean, and it's your own show, you in charge of it, so you can delete and add and do all that shit if you want to.
Yeah. Don't be like it's a living thing. Like don't feel like you got to paint yourself into the topic. There's so many people in this game who like launch their podcast with one thing. 10 episodes in, they find that they're really passionate about something else. They want to do something else, and then they ride that out for years. Like, don't feel like you got to pick your topic and that's all you can talk about. Like, it's not that straightforward or simple. You just got to. I mean, it is simple because just do what you love. Just do what you love. So something that I do want to ask you, because for the people who don't know you, I know we kind of just jumped in and we've talked about your podcast, talked a little bit about your life. Who the hell, other than being light skinned excellence, who the hell is Marco?
Damn. So I'm Marco. I'm originally from Portland, Oregon. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay.
But yeah, I'm in New York. I've done many different jobs, from fucking corporate to fast food. And I quit my job back in June to just full-time create and really take this shit serious and get it off the ground. Just taking a leap on faith, and sooner than later, I'm going to be a traveling podcaster.
There you go.
First of all, what kind of dog do you got?
Man, listen, that's the damn puppy. So he's half German Shepherd, half Husky. And more times than not, he's super quiet. But I think I've been down here for a minute today, and he's like, look, nigga, I need to go outside. Like, we need to play. We need to do something. That's that nigga. You tripping. You doing too much, Bart. Because usually he's honestly pretty quiet. So yeah. Traveling podcaster, man. That's dope. There's an actual podcast. I can't remember the name of it now. I can't remember. All he does is he literally travels and he interviews people. Like, he does travel to Europe, travel across the country. Like, he travels everywhere, and then he uses some of the funds he gets from that to sponsor Black men to get passports so they can also travel. So it's definitely in the realm of possibility.
That's dope as fuck.
It's definitely in the realm of possibility. So there goes some motivation for you, because it can be done. People think that some of this stuff is like pie in the sky dreams, but if you really put your best foot forward, you can do anything. And this platform is so flexible that you can turn it into anything. What took you from Portland, Oregon to New York?
Okay, so actually it was from Portland to DC, but okay. I'm in New York because of God's plan, but God's plan didn't work out. So now I'm relocating.
Okay, fair enough. DC is my second favorite city in the country. So I love DC.
The brunch capital of the world, or of the country.
Houston and DC brunch completely different than the rest. Like, legit, people be on brunch for 6 and 8 hours at a brunch, and it'd be like, I'm like, wait. What do you? It's not time to go home yet. Like, it really turns into a whole day event. Like, that's crazy.
Like, DC brunch is something serious. You start at like 12ish, do brunch from 12 to like 2, and then it's like a little bit of day drinking for a little bit, and then you got the day party from 9 to 10, and if it's a holiday, you got the club from like 11 to 3. So it's a whole fucking event and shit.
Man, listen.
I lived some of my most hood rat days in DC, so
Fair
DC
enough.
owes me nothing.
We'll have to dig into that one day. I got to hear about the hood rat days. I love everybody talking about their hood rat days because it humanizes us because we all have it. So fuck it. Like you gotta own your shit. But that's it, man. I got nothing. I don't want to hold you no more. I really wanted to just take a time, get in your mind for about. That's why it's called Creative Minds, because I like digging in people's minds and getting into their business. That's what I do. So it is what it is. You family at this point, but tell the people where they can find you at, man.
Y'all can find me at Twitter and Instagram at This Is Hear Me Out, and you can check me out on all streaming services under Hear Me Out. Episodes drop every Tuesday. Wherever you find your favorite artist at, you can find your favorite podcaster at.
That's a great line, by the way. I like what you did with that. That has been Marco. Make sure you go and check out his podcast. Reach out to him, talk to him, because us people forget sometimes the podcasters, we like to hear back from y'all. Like, don't just be a one-way sided. Like, I get it, you get to listen on your jogs and all that, but reach out to them. We'd like to hear what you guys think about it. But that's been it. We out this mug. Peace.